broker of record with Evans Real Estate. And today we're going to be talking about insurance. And I have Patrick Fitzhenry with me. Hi Patrick, welcome.
Thank you for having me, Eugenia.
Patrick, tell us a little bit about what you do.
So I'm an insurance specialist and investment broker. I provide people with financial planning and things like that. Work in a firm called Haunn. We're here to talk today about some term insurance.
Excellent. Well, really what prompted this, Patrick, is I received a call from a past client that I'd helped purchase a home, and when we purchased it, it was supposed to be their dream home, their forever home, and unfortunately her husband suffered a heart attack, and so she gave me a call and we discussed the various options, but unfortunately she just wasn't in a position to be able to maintain or retain the home. She had she had a mortgage on the home and she had no insurance or really anything. So the only option was to put it up for sale. So we did, and they went into multiple offers, and she did very well and was able to sell, thankfully, and purchase another property. But that wasn't the ideal outcome. That's not what she wanted. So Patrick, tell me a little bit about how she could have either mitigated it or avoided it, or what she could have done in those circumstances.
Yeah, for sure. So it's very unfortunate, and we do hear that a lot actually in my line of business, and in terms of people having a home and not being able to remain in it once there's a premature death. So what I really want to touch on is kind of three or four main points about term insurance that will highlight the benefits of it and how it can be used by clients like that, or like clients like yourself watching today. So really it comes down to four things. First thing I want to talk about is the flexibility of the coverage.
So Patrick, term insurance would have been her solution.
Yes.
That's really what we're going to be talking about then. So, and that's the most viable option for someone. When they purchase a home and they have a mortgage, they should be taking out some type of insurance.
Yes,
okay.
Correct.
All right.
And really it comes down to the difference between having a mortgage insurance versus having term insurance.
Right.
Okay.
So we're talking specifically today about term insurance.
Correct.
Which is considered to be the more financially savvy option.
Exactly. And I'm going to discuss the reasons why it's more financially savvy, all right?
All right.
So the first thing I want to touch on is just the flexibility of the coverage that you can get with term insurance. So your term can either be 5, 10, 15, 20 years. The reality of it is term insurance provides coverage that isn't tied to a debt. Okay?
Okay. So in other words, it's not tied to the mortgage, which would be considered the debt.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
So if your mortgage is $500,000, you don't need to take term insurance for $500,000. It could be more, it could be less.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And this means that a death benefit can actually be used for various purposes. Okay.
Right.
This is including continuing living expenses, setting aside some money for education fund for some kids, or even cover the loss of income in the household. And so that's the great flexibility of having term insurance. Okay. The next thing I want to talk about is just the comprehensiveness of the protection. Okay.
Right.
And it comes into play when term insurance offers like a broader financial protection to beneficiaries beyond just paying off the mortgage. So that's a key part of it as well.
Right. So with term insurance, you can designate any beneficiary. It doesn't have to be the homeowners.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. And so the good thing about term insurance is if there was a premature death, if someone were to pass away, the death benefit is going to be paid out in a lump sum to the beneficiary, tax-free. Okay.
Right. Whereas when you get mortgage insurance, let's say from your lender, the death benefit is paid out to the lender.
Exactly.
So on the outstanding mortgage.
On the outstanding mortgage, so you don't get to see a lot of that money.
You don't see it at all, really.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
Okay.
And so that's kind of another major factor about the term insurance and why we like to utilize this to cover a mortgage and to ensure people are protected. The next thing about it is the portability of term insurance. Okay, so usually when you have a mortgage insurance or you have a mortgage on a property, chances are you can't purchase another property and get the same mortgage that you got on the last one for the same amount. You usually have to get a mortgage tied with the property that you're purchasing.
Right, and by then you're usually a bit older, so probably a bit more expensive. Where I guess with term insurance, it's yours. It's not tied to the property. You can take it with you to your second, to your third, for as long as your term.
Exactly,
correct?
exactly. And so that's a great point you just mentioned, is saying that term insurance is not tied to any entity, it's tied to you. So it's tied to your person. Wherever you go, no matter what you do, your coverage follows you. And that's very important, especially when you have dependents or if you have a spouse that you'd like to ensure can continue to live the lifestyle that you currently are living.
Yeah,
right?
Fair enough. That's
right?
fair.
And so it brings me to my next point. Talking about lifestyle, pricing, things like that. When we're talking about term insurance, it is one of the most cost-effective types of insurance to purchase. Okay, the insurance premiums are often more cost-effective compared to mortgage insurance of the same coverage amount. On top of that, when you do purchase a mortgage or mortgage insurance, for that matter, it is for the total amount of your mortgage, and as you pay off your mortgage, the price actually doesn't change.
Right.
The amount that you're covered does, and that's another key point that we want to touch on here, is that when you buy term insurance, you're purchasing the amount for the benefit amount, and that benefit amount remains the same.
Same throughout.
The same price, the same benefit amount for the life of the policy.
So would I'm assuming then that you would recommend that before they take the mortgage insurance with their lender, that they at least shop around and find out what it would cost for term insurance, the equivalent amount, because you're saying that almost inevitably it's going to be more cost effective.
Exactly, exactly. And like I said, there's a couple different things you can do with term insurance.
Right.
There's convertible options, there's renewable options, and things like that.
So those are things that you would discuss with them, and
with
then
the
they
client.
could just weigh the pros and cons as opposed to just taking that lender insurance.
Right, exactly. And so the big part of what I do when I work with my clients is I want to educate them on these products and how they work in more depth. I know we could sit here and talk about it all day, but again, it's one thing that I really like to do in my process that I do when I'm working with somebody, is to educate them on these products so they know what the broad range of products that are out there and how they can benefit them.
But Patrick, I like it because you don't just educate, you do it in a fun way.
Yes, always having fun. That's always important.
You have to, you make insurance enjoyable.
Yeah.
Okay, so cost effectiveness is one, and only that can only be seen if they start comparing. So that's something they need to speak with you about.
Yeah.
Are there any other benefits, or is that?
For the most part, I would encourage people, if you had any more questions about it, to reach out to me. We'll put my credentials in the
We will absolutely do that.
And
absolutely.
I'd be happy to answer any other questions that may have come up throughout this talk today.
Thank you so much, Patrick. We really appreciate it. And stay tuned. We have a few more videos coming about insurance, because it's a very important topic. Thank you so much for watching Brokerage.